welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. In today's video, I am going to be talking about comparing yourself to others, ways it can hurt you, and ways I am learning to cope with it. If that's something you are interested in seeing, definitely keep on watching. Straight off this dictionary: to compare, to examine similar and how they are different. Like at one point or the other in our lives, we have found ourselves comparing ourselves to other people. I have found myself comparing myself to other people. It could literally be maybe a celebrity that you are following, maybe your friend who is like more talented than you. I mean, that's what you think. You think they are more talented, or someone that is smarter, or someone that is way prettier. It could literally be anything. And apart from us doing it to ourselves, right, we also find ourselves doing it to other people. Proposed by Leon first. Oh my god, I don't want to murder his name, so I'm just going to put it on the screen, right? He proposed this theory in like 1954, and what he's basically saying is that comparing ourselves to people is innate. You probably know that already. As human beings, we feel like we have to constantly evaluate ourselves. Like you want to know, oh, am I doing this thing that I'm doing well enough? Am I living life well enough? Am I doing school well enough? So to evaluate ourselves, we decide that, oh, I'm going to compare myself to this other person to know how well I'm doing. Also divided it into like two parts. Not necessarily dividing, but he was like, there is the upward side and there's the downward side. Downward side is like you are comparing yourself to people that you are better than to feel better. Then upward, you're comparing yourself to people that are better than you, and then you feel bad about yourself, like, oh, I'm not doing well enough. This video is not just saying that, oh, comparing yourself to people is like the worst thing ever. So like comparing yourself to people can make you to want to do better. There is also research that shows that when it is too frequent, it can result in a lot of negative emotions like anger, jealousy, envy, all of that stuff, which is why you really need to check yourself. One, it can lead to jealousy. You're not going to be jealous of someone who is exactly like you. Most times when you're jealous of people, it's because of like something you think that they have that you don't. Sometimes you probably have what they have though, but you think they have more than you or something like that. Jealousy is basically where you're feeling angry or unhappy about something someone else has that you feel like you're supposed to have, which I feel like in a way we have all done that at some point in our life. I mean, even God says that he's a jealous God. But then it's something that you really have to check though. Instead of being angry at this person, why can't you like focus on yourself, be happy for them, and maybe like your own is going to come. There's nothing cute about jealousy. Like, yeah. I mean, it's okay sometimes if you don't do it too much, but it's not really an emotion that you should be happy that, oh, I'm feeling jealous about this thing. Self-esteem is basically the feeling of being happy and comfortable with what you have. Sometimes you might even be okay, you believe in yourself and all, but when you start like comparing yourself to other people, you might start thinking like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. Because when you start asking those questions, oh, why don't I have this thing that this person has, it can affect your esteem in a way. Even though people could argue that for you to compare yourself to people, you already have a low self-esteem. Well, I think comparing yourself to people can lead to low. So I feel like when you start comparing yourself to other people from jealousy, it can enter low self-esteem because you don't really feel happy or confident in what you want for you to be wanting someone else's own. When it becomes too much, it can basically like lead to low self-esteem, and we don't want that. As human beings, we all have insecurities. Like nobody should even come here and act like having insecurities is a bad thing. We all do. It just depends on how you deal with it and how you check it, because I've seen it happen in like some BBN shows where people are like, oh, this person is insecure, and they're saying it like it's a terrible thing. We all have something, right, that we feel like, oh, this could be better, things that we are not super confident about, and sometimes it's fine, though you should actually be trying to work on those things, not necessarily work on them, but maybe because of insecurities they have, it's not even something you can work on, but like more like accept them. When you constantly compare yourself to others, it basically just highlights it and makes you an unhappy person. And of course, you don't want to live this life being an unhappy person. It can make you to stay in some kind, the way I put it, I want to put it, is rubbish situations. So I'm going to give an example. You are in an abusive relationship or a toxic friendship, but you look around you and you're like, oh my god, everybody has friends, so if I cut off this person, I'm not going to have friends again, or I'm not going to have this relationship again. It can just make you to like decide to stay in that situation when you could literally leave. You stay in rubbish situation just because of you're thinking, oh, everybody has this and I will not be the only one that does not have this thing. You can never be truly happy if you are constantly comparing yourself to other people. Instead of comparing yourself to people and feeling bad and feeling unhappy, you can try to create the life you want for yourself. This is a very new perspective for me, but it's like, it's not just sitting down there complaining. Even though sometimes life has truly served you horrible cards, there's something about you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you react to that thing that's happened to you. So like, it's something that you really need to check. Most of these cons that I have mentioned, right, they are interrelated. Jealousy is interrelated to self-esteem, unhappiness, but like I just thought to like break it down. When it comes to how to stop comparing yourself to people, I feel like a simple summary is you have to be contented with what you have, or the cards that life has served you. Don't go and confuse being contented with I'm just going to sit down there. No, you can still work to create the life you want for yourself, but at first you have to just be contented with what you have, right? So when I find myself in this negative loop, okay, God, please help me to be contented and like grateful. Contentment is basically like a feeling of happiness or satisfaction. So you have to be satisfied with what you have. I'm going to use the Nigerian term. Sometimes it's really just longer truth that is doing you for what other people have. Journal, like do like gratitude list. You know, there's this song we have in church, like, oh my god, when something when you start to count your blessings, right? So sometimes you really need to sit down and like say, write the things that you are grateful for. It will really help you. I'm grateful for my phone, I'm grateful for this world I can film with, I'm grateful for my hands, I'm grateful for my face, I'm grateful for my, like literally just the little things. And when you start writing these things, you realize that, oh, I actually do have a lot to be thankful for. Nobody is like you, and once you realize it, I promise you, you're going to be unstoppable. The only one that can do me like, my life is my life, my timeline is my timeline. I have my own time, everybody has their own time. So it's just like a really good realization, right? There's only one Adora, and I'm the only one that can do Adora the way I am adoring. Oh my god, I was just listening to this podcast just this afternoon. You have to have like a strong sense of self, right? And when you have like a strong sense of self, I promise you, like nothing anybody can do can stop your shine. Things I'm saying is not like as if no, I'm this perfect babe that exudes all these things, but it's like I'm learning, right? And then I was like, oh, it would not hurt to like share it with people on here. So you know how I said that one of the cons is that of constantly comparing yourself to people is that it leads to jealousy. So while I was trying to like just scout around for them to say what other people have said about the same topic that I want to talk about, I watched this video where this babe was like, oh, when she was dealing with jealousy. Like she was literally jealousy and comparison, right? She was comparing herself to her other friend that's like a YouTuber, and this person is like doing well, and she decided to like pray to God about it, and God was like, oh my God, auntie, go and pray for this person. So when you notice that comparing yourself to this person has made you to start having negative feelings or emotions towards them, you can pray for them, you can be happy for them, you can manifest good things for them. It can become a very slippery slope, right? Because when it's not just like about why do I not have this thing that this person have, it's also like why does this person have this and I don't have it. So try to be happy for those people that you feel like, oh, these things they have, I should have it. Happy for people in a way can help you get your own. It's not like you are doing it just because you want to get your own. No, genuine happiness can lead to you getting your own, or you might not even necessarily get your own, but you are happy for them, and that's a good thing in itself. Another thing that people like to do when it comes to this topic, they like the Kardashians. Now it happens with them when people try to like blame the Kardashians for the fact that young girls are being insecure. No, it is not their fault. It is not anybody's fault. It is not any social media influencer's fault that you are feeling the way you feel. And people are like, oh, social media is like a highlights reel. Obviously not a lot of people come on social media to talk about like their struggle, so you really need to put that in mind when you're like comparing yourself to them and all. And it's like, oh, nice, but you know what, I promise you there are some people on social media, if the happiness, like the happy moments they are showing you is like 100%, in real life it's like times 5. So what now happens when you realize that some people are actually genuinely happy and they do not have a lot of struggles? Where do you go from there? So I don't really subscribe to the idea of that, oh, you don't know what you're going through, so be grateful for what you have, blah, blah, blah. Showing us that you're happy. It's okay for you to like want that and not necessarily assume that they are going through something terrible in their life, right? At the same time, while I'm of this opinion, it's also like you do not know. So like you have to be aware of this thing, but not in a way where it becomes malicious that, look at this rich woman, I want to be like her. Oh, but she's probably dealing with some cancer or something like that, and that is your way of coping with it. No, sometimes that rich woman might actually be rich and healthy, and you literally have to like deal with that. You can't compare like a page of someone's life to a whole chapter of your life. You're the one living your life, you know everything you are going through, and then you see one page from someone's life and you want to use that to invalidate your whole experience. Nah, don't do that. Don't assume that anybody that you see that is happy and is doing well has some sort of problem going on. But sometimes you also have to understand that, oh, what you are saying, there is more to it. That life that you're seeing, they've probably put in a lot of hard work into it, but now you're seeing them reaping the fruit of their labor, and you're thinking, oh, why don't I have this? And then another thing is that when these thoughts come, because like I said, it is sort of innate. I read this somewhere, it's basically saying that thoughts are like birds, right, that fly overhead. You can't control them. Sometimes you can't control some thoughts. Not that you can't control all your thoughts. So talking about some of these negative thoughts, sometimes you can't control them, but just do not make them make a nest, right? You can't necessarily control them, but you can control how they make you feel and how you react to them or something of that. So guys, I think that is all I have to like say for this video. If there is something else you feel like, oh, you want to share or you want to, please let me know. Share it in the comment section, or maybe how you deal with comparing yourself to other people. Just generally your thoughts on this topic. I'll be reading all of them. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.